Find someone that looks at you the way Lindsey Graham looks at war. Too bad he's not the only one. Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome back to the show. I'm Akorn. I hope all of you are having a great weekend and that you're ready for today's show of Laugh While the World Burns, where we highlight some of the idiocracy that is modern-day society. If you enjoy this series, please help support the channel and enjoy today's show to the end, and share this video with your family, friends, and social media. We got a lot of good memes and some idiocracy news today, so let's get into it. Kristi Noem claims cannibal illegal immigrant started to eat himself during deportation flight. Well, I guess he was eating himself out of house and home. This guy now works at IHOP. I don't even care if this thing is turned off. It does not matter. That's just beyond stupid. Someone made up dinosaur noises without ever hearing them. Well, of course they heard them. Didn't you guys watch Jurassic Park? The kids who were eating Tide Pods are now old enough to drive. Apparently so. You almost want to ask, how? How can you screw up that bad? But these days, nothing is surprising. That face you make when protesters surround your car in Florida. That law needs to be applied across the country. You wouldn't have these people blocking the roads and the interstates anymore. Why are Democrats against stopping countries from taking without giving back? It reminds them too much of themselves. It's not wrong. Legacy media. See, there's no evidence of danger. Raw footage on YouTube. That is a pretty good example. They've done a whole lot worse, though. If I come to your cookout and bite into one of these carrot dogs, all hell's gonna break loose. I can't say I blame them. That's just disgusting. You wanna eat carrots? That's fine. But don't ever hand me one on a bun like this. Maryland woman allegedly attacks child on flight after he called her Miss Piggy. He could have called her a lot worse names. This guy got mad at an employee and tried throwing the cart, and this is how it ended. Once again, you just want to ask how, let alone why. Reddit thread, no stupid questions. Are you sure about that? If I had a jar of Hornets and I walked into a store with them and told the cashier to give me something for free or I'd open the jar, could they have me arrested? Yes, you're robbing them. The worst part of this is there's just under 3,800 people that upvoted his comment. Hopefully most of those just thought it was funny. Look at you getting all mad and stuff. I didn't write the Bible. I'm just telling you what it says. I'll say this, you get into scriptural truths and you can make a whole lot of people mad real quick. Just happen to see that right above that post is Ryan Hall, y'all. That's literally his YouTube channel name. If you want the best weather forecast available today, that's the channel to check out sometime. He's far better than any news.
Dad, I've decided to major in philosophy.
That's good, because they just opened that huge philosophy factory in our town. Union members threaten and harass residents who dare drop off garbage during Philadelphia strike. This is disgraceful. I'm sorry, if you want to strike or whatever, that's fine. However, in the meantime, I still need to get rid of my trash. I don't have to deal with those things out here. Most of my trash goes in the burn barrel anyway. You better be careful out there, guys. At least this man here wasn't fooled. Take a listen.
So if you had 15 minutes with me, what would you do?
Are you a dude?
What makes you think that?
I don't know, just the vibe, hair, kinda looks like a wig. Nose ring compensating. Bulge. Okay.
Redskin Nation, when you are so woke that a Blackfeet chief, drawn by a Blackfeet artist, approved by the Blackfeet Nation, is considered offensive to white people. Yeah, it's very true. I actually thought somebody screwed up here and put Blackfeet instead of Blackfoot, but I looked it up just to make sure, and I didn't know this, but there's actually two different tribes, Blackfeet and Blackfoot. See, now this is an educational channel. Select all the squares with peaceful protests. Don't you find it a little ironic that the people who are pissed off about being audited by Dodge and don't want to be audited are the same people who hired 78,000 IRS agents to audit you for spending your money? Yeah, I'm sure of that. However, the IRS still exists. Therefore, the problem remains. I wish everything was as easy as getting fat. Yeah, that is way too easy. Me after saying please and thank you to ChatGPT so that when the robots start attacking humanity, I'll be safe. This sign should be at every high school sporting event. The weakest men compete with girls. The weakest minds celebrate it. I agree 100%. That should be at every school. Whenever you see things like this, you want to assume that it's just been photoshopped. But the way things are these days, it's hard to tell between what's real and what's satire. For Father's Day this year, get your dad the thing he really wants: a hidden 5-story subterranean bunker complex. Sounds pretty good about right now. What happened to NBA players? The same thing as all the rest of society. Red State Attorney General crushes woke welcome signs, upholds ban on political propaganda in schools. Royal Labrador claims such signs are as politically charged as MAGA messages. People may not like it, but it is 100% fact check true. Rights aren't rights if someone can take them away. They're privileges. That's all we've ever had in this country, a bill of temporary privileges. And if you read the news, even badly, you know that the list gets shorter and shorter every day. Oregon teen accused of planning mass at Washington Mall released from custody. The Oregon teen, previously arrested in connection to a detailed plan for a mass at a Washington State mall, has been released from custody. The Columbian County teen was accused by federal and local law enforcement of planning to use Patreons at the Three Rivers Mall in Kelso, Washington, before ultimately committing self-unaliving. However, his attorney told Coin6 News the teen has been released because the state of Washington was unable to prove an attempted unaliving had taken place. Well, another question is, was the charges also dropped? Because that's what it sounds like. I'm voting red so my sons don't have to fight in World War III. You're voting blue so your son can become your daughter. We are not the same. I know a lot of people isn't going to like this, but voting is not going to stop World War III. These liberals here in this apartment found out that the groups that they are supporting turned out to not be peaceful protesters after all.
Looks like they're just finishing up there.
Why are you? We're on your side! We're on your side! Holy shit! We're on your side! We're on your fucking side! What the fuck? What the fuck?
Race matters only to racists. The rest of us care about character. Very true. Remember, Klinger dressed like a woman to show that he was mentally ill. I hope they never find life on any other planet, because sure as hell our government will start sending them money. If it was possible, they probably would, yeah. I hate when people confuse education with intelligence. You can have a degree and still be an idiot. Not only that, but there are far more idiots that come out of college than even those that went into college. Gavin Newsom accused of taking California back to Jim Crow era by his fellow Democrats. Dems called his actions hurtful and insensitive, and even compared him to President Donald Trump. Well, next time he'll probably run as a Republican. Obviously, this here is from the Babylon Bee, but that put aside, I honestly don't understand why people really thought that this case here was going to be any different than any of the others. All this was a big courtroom drama distraction. Why is McDonald's flag at half staff? They lost another ice cream machine. Sad times. Democrats say Trump is killing Medicaid, so I thought I'd remind everyone on what Biden did. Hold on to your hats, because the Democrats have been raiding Medicare like it's their personal piggy bank. They snatched $237 billion from the Inflation Reduction Act and funneled it right into their green energy obsession. But that's just the appetizer. They've already drained a colossal $800 billion from Medicare to prop up the Affordable Care Act. Add it up and boom, $1 trillion swiped from Medicare. Talk about trust-busting, jaw-dropping betrayal. Once again, guys, it ain't just the left. All these Republican politicians have been in office just as long as many of the left. People need to take a step back and look at the whole picture instead of buying into whichever narrative that they're fed. Which holiday is more real? I have to agree. Richest woman in the world, Mackenzie Bezos. Net worth, $40 billion. Source of income, divorce. Remember how we got here. Hillary Clinton supplied Iran with uranium to enrich their nuclear program. Barack Obama gave Iran $1.7 billion that they used to fund their nuclear program. Joe Biden unfroze over $16 billion of funds for Iran. So don't even blame this on Trump. Once again, people need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. It's the exact same thing that happened in Ukraine. Imagine being so naive that you eat bugs to save the planet from cow farts because the TV told you to do it. There's many people already waiting in line. I again recommend a law prohibiting all corporations from contributing to campaign expenses of any party. Oregon stops paying Portland to remove homeless camps along freeways and other state property. The compounding impact of this service disruption will be more trash, more hazards, and more danger to both our unhoused and all of those who rely on our critical transportation corridors, Mayor Keith Wilson said Wednesday. Judge determines Trump will get the nation on weekends, while Musk gets every other weekend and holidays. That is pretty funny, but it's still another distraction. Important notice to park visitors. Banned from park. Old man with device that shoots oranges. This old man has been entering the park and launching oranges at anyone who appears teenaged, while shouting, "No teens in the park." What he's saying is not true. All ages are welcome in the park, including teens. I love the fact that they actually added the photos of some of the teens that actually been hit by these. Why are you flying the flag of the country you had to escape from? Being abducted by aliens might just be the vacation that I need at this point. Well, just make sure they're not illegal. What liberalism does to women. What conservatism does to women. Outspoken female New York City teacher union rep targeted by disgusting cards and urinals. I don't even have to read the rest of the article to basically know why. I bet I can get the Democrats to call me king on my birthday. There's no way you can do that. $5 says I can, homie. You have to admit, this is pretty good captions for this. Putin's facial expression just fits it perfectly. I may be old, but I got to see the world before it went to shit. And I'll end today's show with this. If you gotta tell them to help carry the bricks, they ain't the ones to build with. It's a very true statement. If you enjoyed the show, please hit that like button. And if you haven't already, smash subscribe and click that bell. And please remember to share these videos with your family and friends. That's it for today's show, but I'll see you all back here on Friday's show. Until then, I thank you all for watching. You guys take care and stay safe this week. This is Akorn, over and out.